Hey, what's going on everybody? Today in this video, I'm going to go over the cost of living in the metro Atlanta area. If you are considering moving to Atlanta, or you are in the market to buy or sell a home, or you're just curious, what does it cost? What is it going to cost me to live in Atlanta? We're gonna talk about basic cost of living, property value, gas, everything you need to know about what it would cost to live in Atlanta or the Atlanta area in 2022. So if that's something you're interested in, stay tuned and we're gonna talk about it. Hey, what is up everybody? My name is tajhwalker and I am a realtor here in the Atlanta metro area. And today let's jump right into it. I wanna get straight to it and provide you some information. Before I get started, I wanna say that this information is based on research that I found, and I'll link the information below so you can check it out for yourself. But it's not based on my opinion. I simply wanna share it with you so you can make the best decisions for you. So again, what are we gonna talk about today? Cost of living, real estate, cost of food and groceries, all that fun stuff, to see if Atlanta is still a great place or what it would cost simply to live here. And you can make up your mind and see if it's a good fit for you. So overall, the resources that I found here, their metric is this. They have a scale, and pretty much if the number that I'm going to share with you is above 100, it is above the standard cost of living for the US. And if it's below the average of the cost of living for the US based on the category that I'm gonna share with you. So let's jump right into it and let's talk about the cost of living overall, first and foremost. Okay guys, as you can see here, I'm on bestplaces.net, and right here, overall cost of living in Atlanta is 107.5. And again, compared to the US average, it is slightly more expensive to live, or the cost of living here in Atlanta. If we move down here and we look at groceries, we're at 98.8, which is a little bit less than the average. In addition to that, this one is interesting. Housing, 112 to 100. Now this has changed obviously recently in the pandemic. Things have definitely changed. Atlanta has accelerated to be what I think it was always going to be, but it has happened a lot faster with the rise of entertainment, the relatively affordable taxes, and cost of living compared to other places. This is just such a fascinating number to me to see how quickly this has grown. And again, guys, the average that they're using here is 100. If the number that I'm sharing with you is above 100, it is above the national average. If it is below 100, it is below the national average. Okay, everybody, so let's talk about real estate and the cost of living here as it pertains to real estate. So here in Atlanta, as most folks know, the rent has drastically increased since last year, currently here in 2022. So the average rent here in Atlanta for an average 2-bedroom apartment or home is about $1,800, roughly. In terms of the cost of living, or the average price for a home in Metro Atlanta, is about $522,000. And this is up slightly from what it was last month, which is about $518. And that number encompasses a larger data set, a lot more counties than this data here. But can you believe that? $522,000 for the average home, or the average sales price of a home here in Atlanta, and the average rent for a 2-bedroom apartment, about $1,800. So I'm sure that's nothing new depending on where you are. Most prices across the country have increased, but I wanted to share that with you specifically about the cost of living, specifically to either rent or buy here in Atlanta, Georgia. So now, let me pull out some of my bills to kind of give you some real numbers about my specific situation, and hopefully it helps you out as well. All right, guys, so a little bit of context. I lived in a home that was about 1,300 square feet. It was just my wife and I. The home that we had was electric, so no gas, only electric and water. So what we paid in electric last month for that size home for just the two of us was, let me check, it was about $170 for a home that was about 1,300 square feet for 2 adults using electricity in the hot months here in Georgia. The month before that, $185 $185 per month for electricity. And for water, for that same size place, it was about $23 total for both months. The water doesn't change too much. It's pretty consistent month to month, but it was about anywhere between $20 and $30 for a monthly water bill. So that kind of gives you an idea of what you may end up paying for electricity and water. Gas may vary depending on if where you're living is serviced by gas, but I hope that's helpful to you as well. All right, everyone, so I was thinking about cutting this video short and leaving you with just the general stats about Atlanta overall. However, I thought about it, and I'm going to speak specifically about two places that I hear quite a bit when folks are moving to Atlanta and they want to be. Now, this is just random. I have no particular reason outside of choosing these places besides people have often asked me about them moving here. And that's going to be Alpharetta, and that's going to be Brookhaven, and it's going to be Marietta. Those three, so not two, actually three, to give you some specific numbers about those areas as well. So let's dive right into those really briefly as well. Okay guys, so as you can see here, overall cost of living in Brookhaven is $143, above the average for overall cost of living, groceries, and drastically a higher cost of living in terms of the housing. So Brookhaven is inside of the perimeter. Location is fantastic, and you are right in the midst of everything Atlanta has to offer. So if city life is your thing, this may be a great place for you. If you don't really want to be in the hustle and bustle of things, this may not be a good fit. But Brookhaven is a very sought after area because of the school districts, and a lot of folks consider it the second or the other Buckhead. So pros and cons there as well. But I think it's a great option to consider if that's what you are looking for. All right, cost of living in Alpharetta, Georgia. Now I have folks inquiring about Alpharetta probably more often than not because it's outside of Atlanta, but still close enough to Atlanta to get there when you want to do something entertaining. So Alpharetta, overall 124, so above the national average. Groceries, 103, not too far above the national average. And as you can see here, the median home price there is $494,000. So I would take this with a grain of salt because, like I said, I get information from NAR quite a bit, and it's not, these numbers aren't too far off, but it's a good starting point to give you an idea of what the cost of housing will be in this area as well. So Alpharetta, outside of 285, outside of the perimeter, so not quite city life, but close enough to enjoy it. But a lot of folks move here just because of the schools, and it's not too far outside of Atlanta, and they want to transition to more of the suburbs. So also a very, very popular place. Lots of things to do there. For example, the Avalon. And if that's something that you're considering or you'd be open to, Alpharetta is a great option for you to take a look at as well. All right, you all. So last but not least, let's take a look at Marietta, Georgia. Also just outside the perimeter, northwest, but this is not too far from where the Atlanta Braves play. Atlanta Braves play. So here are the numbers. Overall, 111, so cost of living above the average. Groceries 98, a little bit lower. Housing about a quarter higher than the average, and as you can see here, median home price in Marietta is $362, which is not too far off for your standard single family home there as well. So a little bit about Marietta, as I mentioned before, this is not too far from where the Braves play or where the Battery is. A fantastic place to take your family, get out, have a good time. It's one of my personal favorite places to go get a drink, get something to eat, and all types of entertainment. It has something for everybody. I'd say it gets a little busy around that area if the Braves are playing. That 75-285 conjunction can get really, really backed up if you're trying to come and go through there. So just something to be aware of. But Marietta, also another great place to consider. All right, folks, so the final thing I want to talk about is gas. So here in Georgia overall, the average is about $3.9 a gallon. So as we know, gas is always changing at the pump. You roll up, one day it's this, one day it's that, it's always going up and down. But on average today, the numbers that I found is about $3.9 a gallon. So with that, today we talked about overall cost of living. We talked about groceries, homes, and gas prices. So I wanted to give you guys a brief snapshot of the cost of living in Metro Atlanta. And again, I'll link some of these resources for you below so you can dive deeper if you want. But I hope that was beneficial to you. Again, my name is Taj, and if you have any questions where I could be a resource to you, please reach out to me. Call, text, email, whatever works best for you. I love to speak to you about these things in more detail and specifically about the areas that you may be interested in. Again, this is very broad data, but now you know, and I hope this could be a start to your information search as you consider the cost of living here in Atlanta. So, hey, thank you guys for watching. If you like this information and you want to just stay apprised, please make sure to hit that subscribe button. I really appreciate it and it helps the channel out. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. You guys take care.